I found stoicism a little late in the game. It's this calm, unwavering, focused, appreciative life force that just keeps grinding no matter what. After reading all the different philosophers and books and people kind of doing their interpretations on all of that work, I found myself appreciating the pain more and finding more meaning in the suffering and being more steady through the chaos. That is needed. Chapter 9 for the Undressed Field Guide podcast limited series. I'm Greg Vetter, the writer. So we're on chapter 9. What goes up must come down. So chapter 8 was about this meteoric moment of unbelievable opportunity and success. Chapter 9, what happens in chapter 9 is the groundwork basically for the end. The seeds that are planted in chapter 9 are what end up taking us down at the end. I don't realize it yet. I just think it's a series of rushed kind of bad events with bad people. I'm kind of focused on getting it done no matter how hard it is, no matter what it takes. I'm going to grind and get it done. But as I look back, the seeds that were planted in chapter 9 that harvested into the end. And so you go back and you read it and you just go, fuck. You obviously couldn't see it coming, or I couldn't see it coming, but it's tough. It's tough. Field guide, lessons learned, what you need to know. A sense of urgency and preset deadlines are not good for negotiations. Not something I knew going into it, obviously. It's tough raising money, and it's tough convincing people that your dream and your products are worth investing in. And before, it was tough because everybody said, we're not interested, it's not cool, we don't care, nobody gives a shit about organic salad dressing. Then when you finally give them a reason to give a shit about salad dressing and everything else we had going on, they didn't care because the growth was too much and the deadlines were too tight and the opportunity was too big. And so I always felt like we just couldn't win. But when I look back on it, and the counsel I give people now is don't have preset guidelines or timelines or anything involving a money raise, because people are going to use that against you and your terms are going to be shitty because of it. Again, I don't think there is a silver bullet equation here, because when we didn't have all of that and we were trying to sell the future and the vision, everybody goes, we'll prove it. And then when we proved it, they go, can you execute? This is a little too big. Don't you think you should do this? Don't you think you should do that? So, I don't know what to tell you. Find a fucking billionaire trust funder, bring them in, and don't ever raise money ever again. How about that? That's all I got on that one. Okay, what you need to know. Keep calm and carry on. The description of this is interesting because my suggestion is start reading about stoicism. I found stoicism a little late in the game. But the interesting part about those philosophers and the books that have been written on it, it's this calm, unwavering, focused, appreciative life force that just keeps grinding no matter what. Prior to finding Stoic philosophy, I would say I was probably more emotional. After reading all the different philosophers and books and people kind of doing their interpretations on all of that work, I found myself appreciating the pain more and finding more meaning in the suffering and being more steady through the chaos. That is needed. Your energy and your ability to lead are contagious to the rest of the culture and your team and your family and even yourself. And if you're just losing your shit every 3 seconds, that's not good. It actually goes back to that little test of if you smile really hard for 60 seconds, you trick your brain into thinking you're happy. That's basically what Stoic philosophy is in a nutshell, which is no matter how bad it gets, no matter what's coming your way, good, bad, or indifferent, you just keep going because it's all there for a reason. It's all there to teach you something. You're going to find a way around it. You're going to have more character after you're done. And if I could give anybody some recommendations on how to create an even keel, it would be read some Stoic philosophy. What you need to know. Omens are good, even if they're bad. Have faith and trust your process. Imagine you're watching a movie about your life. What part of the movie did this particular omen pop up in? You may not like the things that are happening to you or the signs you are receiving, but all of it is for a reason. Don't try to convince yourself that the signs you are receiving are somehow good when you know they're bad. We want everything to work out on our timeline and on our schedule and with our plan. At least I did, and I still do. What I look back and see now, there were omens there saying, don't go down this hallway. Don't have this person as a business partner. Don't take this deal. Don't go with this banker. And I convinced myself that those omens were actually good omens. I would look up Native American omens for this, and it'd be like, this is horrible. And then I'd go remove the Native American omen, and I would put some other type of omen in. They go, this is really great. I'm like, well, that's what this omen is. In reality, no, it was horrible. They were bad omens. I should have taken the signs. I should have gone a different path, but I didn't. And I learned the hard way. And I learned, and the interesting part about signs and omens and the journey and all that good stuff, your gut knows. I'm going to keep saying this. Your gut knows all. And anytime I ignored my gut, I was wrong. And I may have momentarily had a win in that singular moment. 3 months later, epic failure, epic loss. And so the moral of that field guide lesson is be okay with whatever is coming your way, even if it's temporarily bad, because it's directing you down a path you're supposed to go. And if you decide you're not going to go down the path that it's naturally trying to take you down, you're not going to win. It's going to be way more work. It's going to be way more painful, and you're delaying the inevitable. And then what I have found in my own life and experience, the worst possible moment that you could ever imagine, for all of that stuff to come back up to the surface, it's going to come. And you're going to look back on those moments that you ignored those signs and omens, and you're going to be fucking pissed. When people ask me, hey, if you had to give a young entrepreneur 5 books, what would they be? One of them's the Alchemist. It's because I didn't understand omens and I didn't understand the journey until I read that book. And a lot of business books are, here's a strategy for you to be successful. Here's the most efficient bio life hack for you to get into an ice bath. Here's, a ChatGPT prompt that's guaranteed to make you successful. That's not what it's about. It's about, in The Alchemist, they say the language of the desert. It's about figuring out your language of your journey. And that's what omens were for me. And I didn't understand that there were omens until reading that book and then just opening my eyeballs and being aware of, wow, a bald eagle just flew in front of me. That's insane. Or a fox just walked across my path. That's bizarre. There's 100 different versions of it. But I started looking into them, and then I just started being hyper aware of then what happened that day. Did good stuff happen? Did bad stuff happen? Did people come into my life after seeing that? And you can choose to ignore them all you want. That's fine. Doesn't matter to me. The universe is trying to tell you something, and you got to be aware of it. And I don't care how fucking crazy it sounds. The journey has its own life force, and you're a part of it. You need to participate in it, and you need to help that journey along the way as well, because there's always opportunities to go right or go left. And the omens are going to help you to choose which one is right. And if you choose the wrong one, as this book tells you, you're going to get the absolute shit kicked out of you. So let that be a lesson to you. All right. Chapter 9 Field Guide, limited series podcast on my book Undressed. Thank you for coming in. And the next time we chat, we will be discussing Chapter 10. Peace.